पूर्वं मङ्गलाचरणं कुर्मः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Okay, maybe today I also just recite what this in the Shankara tradition they read out in the beginning of their reading sessions their Guru Santati. No? If I remember rightly, let me try. Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktin cha Tatputra Parasarancha Vyasam Sukam Gauda Padam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Mathasya Shishyam Sri Shankaracharya Mathasya Padma Padam cha Hastamalakam cha Shishyam Tam Totakam Bhartika Karamanya Nasmad Gurum Shantatama विश्वं दर्पण दृश्यमान नगरी तुल्यं निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद् भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवद् व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ॐ After this they start their reading sessions, which this probably you sensed somehow this list starts from Narayana and ends with Shankara, and then Shankarite, Shankara's four disciples, and then down to our teachers. Okay. Sometimes it's nice to remember the tradition. Bhavatu, idanim praravama kutrasti mama pathaha kinchit षष्ठो मंत्रः समाप्तः न अद्य सप्तमः मंत्रः वर्तते यस्मिन् सर्वाणि भूतान्यात्मैवाभूद्बीजानतः तत्र को मोहः कः शोकः एकत्वमनुपश्यतः. Again I lost my text. भवतु यस्मिन् सर्वाणि भूतानि आत्मैवाभूद् बीजानतः तत्र कः शोकः कः मोहः एकत्वम् अनुपश्यतः. पुनः फलं वर्तते न सो यः एकात्म भावं पश्यति एकात्म भावं ध्यायति जानाति तस्य कृते फलं भक्ति श्रुतिः न सरलं वर्तते सारल्येन अवगन्तुं शक्यते एष मन्त्रः. यस्मिन् सर्वाणि भूतानि यस्मिन् इति सप्तम्यन्तं पदं न तत्र देशः अपि भवितुं शक्नोति परिस्थितिः अपि भवितुं शक्नोति कालः अपि भवितुं शक्नोति. यस्मिन् काले न भाष्यकार कथयति यस्मिन् काले यस्मिन् समये उत यस्मिन् वस्तुनि यथोक्तात्मनि वस्तुनि वा तानि एव भूतानि सर्वाणि परमार्थ दर्शनात् आत्मैवाभूत्. यस्मिन् काले सर्वाणि भूतानि आत्मैव अभूत् स्वयमेव अभूत्. कथं? परमात्म दर्शनात्. यह एवं न पूर्वस्मिन् मंत्रे अपि उक्तं यह एकात्म भावं पश्यति एकात्म भावं ध्यायति स न बीजुगुप्सते न विचिकित्सति न संशयं नशेते. एवं कृत्वा परमात्म दर्शनात् परमार्थ आत्मदर्शनात् यह सर्वाणि भूतानि आत्मैव मनुते, आत्मैव इति जानाति, तस्य कृते तस्मिन् काले, तस्मिन् समये, तस्मिन् ध्यानकाले न तथा चिन्त्यमाने तादृश्यां दशायां कः मोहः, न तत्र मोहः नास्ति। मोह नाम कः, न कः शोकः, शोकः तत्र नास्ति। कथं तथा भवति? आत्म यदा आत्मैवाभूत आत्मैव संवृत्तः परमात्म वस्तु विजानतः, कस्य कृते? तस्य पुरुषस्य कृते यः एवं विजानाति, विजानतः इति न षष्ट्यन्तं पदं वर्तते। शत्रन्तं न शत्री वर्तते, प्रेजेंट पार्टिसिपल, ततः षष्ट्यन्तं पदं वर्तते। यह परमार्थ वस्तु विजानाति, किमस्ति परमात्म वस्तु? आत्मा। न आत्मा तथा जानाति यथा सर्वाणि भूतानि तस्यैव आत्मा तदा भवति। तदा तत्र तस्मिन् काले न तस्मिन् वस्तुनि तस्मिन् न तस्मिन् ध्यानकाले तादृश्यां दशायां तत्र आत्मनि आत्मवस्तुनि एकस्मिन्नेव परमार्थवस्तुनि शोकः अपि नास्ति, मोहः अपि नास्ति। कथं? शोकश्च मोहश्च कामकर्म बीजम् अजानतो भवति। यह न जानाति, यह तत्त्वं न जानाति, आत्मानं न जानाति, तस्य शोकः अपि भवति, मोहः अपि भवति। वस्तुतः शोकः संसारे भवति, कार्यं वर्तते। मोहः कारणं वर्तते, संसारस्य कारणम् अविद्या वर्तते। तत् काम कर्म बीजं, तस्य बीजं किमस्ति? कर्म न उत तस्य तदेव बीजं वर्तते। तस्मात् कामना भवति, न कामयति जनः, कर्म करोति, पुनः शोकः भवति, पुनः मोहः भवति, तस्मिन् चक्रे भ्रमति न। सो परस्परं तत्र कार्यकारणभावसम्बन्धः वर्तते। कस्य कृते एतद् भवति? यः न जानाति, यः आत्मानं न जानाति, तत्त्वं न जानाति, परमार्थभूतम् आत्मानं न जानाति, ब्रह्म न जानाति, तस्य कृते शोकः अपि भवति, मोह अपि भवति न। अत्र अजानतः अपि षष्ट्यन्तं पदं, शत्रन्तं षष्ट्यन्तं पदं भवति। न तु आत्मैकत्वं पश्यतः, आत्मैकत्वं विशुद्धं गगनोपमं पश्यतः। आत्मनः एकत्वम्, आत्मैकत्वम्, आत्मा एक एव वर्तते संसारे, केवलं न अस्तित्वे केवलम् आत्मा एव वर्तते, स च एक एव वर्तते इति यः पश्यति, यः जानाति, स च आत्मा कीदृशः वर्तते न। भाष्यकार विशिनष्टि विशुद्धः वर्तते, गगनोपमः वर्तते न। सो तादृशं कर्म वर्तते इदानीं वाक्ये। विशुद्धं गगनोपमं तत्त्वम् आत्मानं पश्यतः तत्र कः शोक कः मोह न नास्ति एव। को मोहः कः शोक इति शोकमोहयोर अविद्या कार्ययोर आक्षेपेण असंभव प्रकाशनात् सकारणस्य संसारस्य अत्यन्तम् एव उच्छेदः प्रदर्शितो भवति न। सो शंकर स्वचिंतन रीत्या, स्वीय अद्वैत वेदांत रीत्या, विवर्तवाद रीत्या न समन्वयति, सारं ददाति। अत्र को मोह कः शोक इति उच्यते मंत्रेण, परंतु तेन तद्वचनेन उच्छेदः प्रदर्शितो भवति। कस्य उच्छेदः? संसारस्य अत्यन्तम् एव उच्छेदः न। खंड प्रलयादिके अपि उच्छेदः भवति, परन्तु ज्ञाते तत्त्वे न संसारः न। सो यदा तत्त्वं जनः जानाति, आत्मैकत्वं जनः जानाति, तदा संसारः न अवशिष्यते। sakaranasya samsarasya atyantam uchcheda. Atyantam iti sarvatha, na? So na kinchit, na khandasah. पर न केवलं संसारस्य अत्यन्तम् उच्छेद परन्तु तस्य कारणस्यापि उच्छेद कारणं किमस्ति अज्ञानं कारणं किमस्ति अविद्या न अविद्यायाः संसारस्य च सर्वथा उच्छेदः भवति यदा जनः आत्मानं तत्त्वभूतं परमार्थभूतं जानाति एतच्च कथं ज्ञायते मंत्रात् स कथयति शोकमोहयो अविद्याकार्ययोः आक्षेपेण न अत्र शोकमोहौ आक्षिप्येते न शोक अपि नास्ति मोह अपि नास्ति इति ते दूरतः अपसार्यन्ते दे आर थ्रोन अवे न एवं आक्षेपेण द्वयोः आक्षेपेण तेषाम् अत्र संभावना एव नास्ति यदा जन तत्त्वं जानाति तदा शोकस्य मोहस्यापि संभावना अपि नास्ति इति मन्त्रेण प्रकाशितम् अनेन अस्मात् प्रकाशनात् किं ज्ञायते तत्र यदा जनः तत्त्वं जानाति ज्ञाते तत्त्वे कः संसार न संसार एव न भवति संसारस्य मूलम् अविद्या अज्ञानम् अपि न भवति इति अनेन मन्त्रेण प्रकाशितो भवति न एवं एतत् ज्ञानस्य फलं न ब्रह्मज्ञानस्य आत्मज्ञानस्य आत्मैकत्वस्य परमार्थस्य ज्ञानस्य फलं वर्तते. Okay, let me now summarize in English. At that time, Yasmin Kale, everything in existence becomes just the self. No? So Shankaracharya is interpreting first Yasmin, that is locative, and then he is saying that this refers to time or it refers to the reality. No? So in that reality of Atman, no? Ultimate Atman, or at that time when one is entering this state of mind and realizing everything as Atman, then thanks to this vision, this insight into Atman as the ultimate reality, the only one, the sole reality, sole ultimate reality, so everything, including he himself and the rest, everything becomes just one Atman. uh, Once that happens at that state or at that reality, there is no second, there is nothing else, no? So in that state there is no possibility, no existence of delusion, no existence of suffering, agony. So all this starts with ignorance, with avidya, nescience. That is the seed of that is the cause of all and everything in the world. From that we have desire, and then we have action, then out of that we have again, so we try to do something, we have certain desire, they are fulfilled, we have somehow for some time some happiness, but again we have the thirst, we are engaged. So there that creates a chain of reaction, and then we do deeds, we have results or rewards of those deeds, and we end again and again in suffering, agony, and delusion. But uh, a person who is seeing the pure nature of Atman, that is like, that can be compared with Akasha, the space, sky, which is everywhere, which accommodates everything. The same way, if we understand Atman, our Atman, as well as the Atman of the existence, Atman of universe, as that way, that kind of reality, then there is no possibility of any sort of agony, any sort of tormentation, delusion. No? So this much is the meaning of literal meaning of the mantra. But Shankara adds there, according to his way of thinking, and says that though the mantra is upalakshanena, so he just mantra enumerates two things, moha and shoka, tormentation and delusion, but we can understand that from this statement, actually from this act of mantra of rejecting akshepa, rejecting, throwing away of shoka and moha, denying, so rejection of delusion and suffering, tormentation, from that, uh, and this way, so the rejection means mantra is telling us that there is no possibility of such thing there in that state, that time. From this, we can take home, we can understand that at that state of enlightenment, at that time of meditation and gradually enlightenment, there is complete absence, so complete uprooting of the world, samsara, transmigration, and its cause, that is ignorance. So this much is suggested, shown by the mantra. Okay, so as previous mantra, this too is statement of reward, result of cultivating this idea and eventually being there, this idea of oneness of Atman and Atman as the ultimate reality. Okay, any question there?
Kama karma bijam. What is the, how do you break that samasa?
Yeah, but kamasya karmanah sa bijam.
So he's saying that shoka and moha cause kama and karma, or
Kama and karma, but probably not no, yatha sankhya. So soka moha, they represent all kinds of emotions, all kinds of so sensual feelings, internal as well as external. So they are the more fundamental ones. That's why these two are mentioned. Uh, and then kama and karma, so one affects the other. So they are the seed of, these two are the seed of everything that happens in this chain reaction, and then creates a vicious circle of action and then consequence.
and in the next line when he says avidya karyayo, he's saying that both are a resultant of avidya, right?
Yeah, shoka and moha are results of avidya. Yeah, and here, so he is, that is ultimately, avidya is the cause, but kama and karma, they are, you can take no, so that intermediate state. So somehow he is not repeating that, because now he is presenting his doctrine. So for him, finally avidya is there, as the ultimate source. So intermediary kama karma, so he somehow, no, so doesn't repeat it again. So who is aware of his way of thinking, you will be understanding, probably it heard that way. That's why.
Thank you.
No, but his point in this last sentence is to go back and to deny avidya, no? So that's why he's not mentioning anything in between.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
Acharya,
Vadantu.
षष्ठे सप्तमे च पद्ये पूर्वार्धे पञ्चदश एवाक्षराणि दृश्यन्ते यदि तु प्रथम द्वितीय पाद संधौ संधिः लुप्यते, संधेः लोप क्रियते, तदा षोडश अक्षराणि भवन्ति, यस्मिन् सर्वाणि भूतानि आत्मैवाभूद् विजानतः इत्येवं पठ्यते चेत तदा अनुष्टुभि एव.
न परन्तु तत्र न अष्टौ एव अक्षराणि न यस्मिन्
यस्मिन्
सर्वाणि भूतानि अष्टौ
भूतानि इति पठितव्यं तदा
आम् आम्
षोडश
आम् आम् तथैव आम् न तथा न मम पाठे अपि सन्धि अस्ति न वा अहं न जाने तत्र
ओलिवल्
तत्र
महोदयस्य
आम् आम्
पुस्तके तु
सन्धि अस्ति न तत्र
सन्धि
तद्
अस्ति।
तद् विषये किञ्चित् वदामि वेदे तत्र यत्र यकारः भवति तत्र न यण् सन्धि भवति तत्र यथा पाणिनीय सूत्रे अपि अस्ति भूवादयो न तत्र यण् सन्धेः न तत्र विकल्पः भवेयुः न सो वैदिके पाठे वैदिके क्रमे इति विचारयामि यदि न तत्र भवान् न जानीयात् गायत्री मन्त्रे अपि तत्र न यदि तत्र किमस्ति तत्तु सन्धि अपि नास्ति न वरेण्यं वर्तते परन्तु वरेण्यम् इति उच्चारणीयं भवति तथा उच्चारयन्ति न तत् सवितुर्वरेण्यं न अन्यथा तत्र यथा भवान् वदति छन्दोभङ्गः भवति न सो छन्दः न सप्त एव अक्षराणि भवन्ति तत्र एवं अत्रापि अत्र तु सारल्यं वर्तते अत्र तु न पादः समाप्तः तस्मात् यस्मिन् सर्वाणि भूतानि you can stop there or you can read bhutanyatma bhutbijanata. Yeah, there maybe let me tell slightly different thing. Probably it's not counting as it is written. No? So probably you are counting more as when you pronounce it. No? So you have to pronounce it such a way that you have extra mora or extra vowel is there. Yeah. Okay. All right.
आम् अपि च अनुपश्यतौ अनोः कोऽभिप्रायः
पुनः 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 एतस्मात् कारणात् मया ध्यायत इति उक्तं न अभिध्यायतः अनुध्यायतः अनुपश्यत अनु whenever you have anu you can be following something doing something subsequently or it can be no so your own action in that case you are not following anyone then it can be repeatedly anu can have this kind of again and again repeatedly you are following the same procedure. Okay. Any other question or comment?
Is it anupashyata is repeatedly or constantly? Because I think there is this thing that once you see it forever. So I'm assuming it is constant.
Oh no, that is okay, but to reach that state, probably you have to first follow the procedure and then use even I would say auto suggestion, which is the dhyana is in a way. So you have to auto suggest and cultivate that again. So you can't immediately or at once see the world as yourself, but yeah, that's first you have to do it repeatedly. Yeah, that's yatnah kartavyah. So dhyane yatnah kartavya.
Thank you.
But once it is there and then it doesn't deviate, it doesn't come back, then it's fine. That maybe you become jivan mukta. Yeah. Otherwise, nididhyasanam. No,
the only reason I asked is because he's already saying, yasmin kale etokta atmaniva. So he's already there.
Tatha constantly that would be fine. Yeah, if you are reading that way. But I am also trying to read it like this is probably in the form of teaching, and then suggesting that it can also be kind of instruction.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
आचार्य अपि च पूर्वार्धे अन्यः संशयो जायते सर्वाणि भूतानि विजानतः सम्बन्धी आत्मा इत्येवम् अवगन्तव्यम् आहोस्वित् सर्वाणि भूतानि आत्म एव अभूत् इति विजानतः इत्येवम्
विजानता जनस्य कृते न सो अन्येषां कृते ये न जानन्ति ये अज्ञाने सन्ति अविद्यायां सन्ति तेषां कृते तु मोहः अपि वर्तते शोकः अपि वर्तते तस्य कृते यः सर्वाणि भूतानि आत्मा इति जानाति
इति आम् इति
आम्
इति कारणं सम्बन्धनीयं
आम् आम्
भवति
आम् न तत्र यस्मिन् इति न व्यक्तौ न पुरुषे अपि संयोक्तुं शक्यते इति अहं न चिन्तयामि न केवलं काले वस्तुनि उत तस्मिन् पुरुषे न तस्य विषये पुरुषस्य विषये अपि भवितुं शक्नोति आम् तत् अत्र न शङ्करः एवं व्याख्याति परन्तु तत्र अन्ये सन्ति ये द्वैतिनः सन्ति विशिष्टाद्वैतिनः सन्ति ते तु किञ्चित् न अन्यया रीत्या व्याख्यान्ति यथा केचन भेदस्य बाधा अत्र वर्तते भेदाभेदः वर्तते इति यथा आत्मशरीरयोः सम्बन्धः तथा आत्मा न सर्वाणि भूतानि आत्मैव अभूत् इति अत्र सामानाधिकरण्यं वर्तते यथा देहे आत्मा वर्तते न उभयोः समन्वयः वर्तते तथैव आत्मा तु परमेश्वरः आत्मा तु नारायणः वर्तते न तस्य शरीरं वर्तते जगत् इति केचन व्याख्यान्ति तस्य कृते तत्र शोकमोहः नास्ति इति एकः न एकत्वं बहुविधम् इति चिन्तयितुं शक्यते न एवं कृत्वा केचन ग्रन्थकाराः न एकेन प्रकारेण ते व्याख्यान्ति न सो अपरे ग्रन्थकाराः अन्यथा व्याख्यान्ति Yeah, I'm just telling that oneness or identity can be of different kind. No? Identity can be like, for some authors, it can be like the identity of body and self, no? Body and the soul. So for them, they can't imagine that the God, Narayana, and we are the same. No? So for them, so this entire world, including all living or not living, moving, not moving, all that is the body of the God, and the God is the Narayana, is the self. So for those people who are interested in devotion, it can be this way. But for Shankara like Advaitin, so for them, Brahma itself or Atman itself, it appears. No? So it is in every way, it is the cause. No? So it is there is no any sort of difference. It appears in this way, but in reality, it is Atman. In reality, it is Brahman. So that would be absolute non-dualism, but there are different modes, different ways of interpretation. No? So like even in the example of space, so in Sankara's way, it will be, it is the space itself, and then everything appears there, everything disappears there. There is nothing but space. But for other people, so space is that which accommodates, which gives unity, which gives reconciles everything, facilitates everything. But there are other things also. So interpretation can be different according to inclination and subscription to one or the other philosophy. All right. Should I go to the next? Or yeah, maybe I read the mantra, and some of you, if you like, you can do it. सपर्यगात् शुक्रमकायमव्रणमश्नाविरग्ं शुद्धमपापविद्धम् कविर्मनीषी परिभुः स्वयंभूर्याथा तथ्यतोऽर्थान् व्यददात् शाश्वतीभ्यः समाभ्यः भवतु न वेदपाठरीत्या मया न उक्तम् इदानीं छन्दरीत्या न वच्मि सपर्यगात् शुक्रमकायमव्रणम् अस्नाविरं शुद्धमपापविद्धम् कविर्मनीषी परिभुः स्वयंभुर्याथा तथ्यतोऽर्थान् व्यदधात् समाभ्यः व्यदधात् शाश्वतीभ्यः समाभ्यः न अत्र छन्द विषये एव पूर्वं किञ्चित् वच्मि न यथा मया कृतं न छन्दः न तया पाठ्यमाने तत्र शाश्वतीभ्यः इत्येतत् पदम् अतिरिक्तायमानं वर्तते न यदि शाश्वतीभ्यः इत्येतत् पदं त्यक्त्वा उच्यते चेत् छन्दः न सुष्ठुतया न वसति तत्र न परम्परायां तु तथा न चिन्तनीयं ते न तथा न विश्वसीयुः परन्तु शाश्वतीभ्य इति न केनचित् न अत्र अतिरिक्तं स्थापनीयं विशेषणीयम् इति स्थापितं भवेत् न यदा कविः न छन्दतया तत्र न रचितवान् तदा स्यात् न स्यात् न ज्ञायते भवतु एतदपि शङ्करानुसारेण शङ्करभाष्यानुसारेण फलमेव वर्तते आत्मज्ञानस्य न मन्त्रस्य व्याख्या पश्चात् कुर्मः न पूर्वं तत्र भाष्यं पठामः तत्पश्चात् पुनरागत्य किञ्चित् अवशिष्यते चेत् पश्चात् मन्त्रस्य व्याख्यां कुर्मः यः अयम् अतीतैर्मन्त्रैरुक्त आत्मा स स्वेन रूपेण किं लक्षण इत्याह अयं मन्त्रः आम् परन्तु न मया तु उक्तं फलतया परन्तु भाष्यकारः कथयति तत्रापि कथयितुं शक्यते तादृश आत्मा यः ज्ञातः न तेन ध्यानिना न योगिना स किं लक्षण कथं भवति न स ज्ञातः आत्मा न ज्ञेयः आत्मा कीदृशः किं लक्षण इति एतद् उच्यते अनेन मन्त्रेण भवतु यः कोऽपि यदि न पठितुं व्याख्यातुम् इच्छति चेत् न स्वागतम्
I can read 2 lines.
या वदतु भवान्
सपर्यगातः यथोक्त आत्मा पर्यगात् परिसमन्तात् अगात् गतवान् आकाशवद् व्यापि इत्यर्थः शुक्रं शुभ्रं ज्योतिष्मत् दीप्तिमान् इत्यर्थः अकायम् अशरीरं लिङ्गशरीरवर्जितः इत्यर्थः अव्रणम् अक्षतम् अस्नाविरं स्नावाः सिरा यस्मिन् न विद्यन्ते इति अस्नाविरम् अव्रणम् अस्नाविरम् इति एताभ्यां स्थूलशरीरप्रतिषेधः
आम् ओके सपर्यगात् अत्र शङ्करः न सपर्यगात् इति एतद् वाक्यमेव वर्तते परन्तु पृथक्तया न विशेषणतया तस्य व्याख्यां करोति भवितुं शक्नोति अन्यप्रकारेणापि भवितुं शक्नोति पश्चात् विचारयामः अत्र न स्वतन्त्रतया सपर्यगात् इत्येतत् व्याख्याति शङ्करः स यथोक्तः आत्मा तादृश यथा उक्तः विश्वस्य आत्मा ब्रह्मभूतः आत्मा परमात्मा पर्यगात् पर्यगात् इति लुङ् लकारे वर्तते परि अगात् न तथा न तत्र व्याख्या वर्तते योगविभागः वर्तते परि न इति तत्र उपसर्गः वर्तते परि इत्यस्य अर्थः वर्तते समन्तात् न सर्वतः समन्तात् ततः क्रिया वर्तते अगात् अगात् इति गतवान् स सर्वतः स परितः स समन्तात् गतवान् इति अनेन किं जायते आचार्य भक्ति स ब्रह्मभूत आत्मा आकाशवद् व्यापी वर्तते इति ज्ञायते न परमार्थभूतः आत्मा आकाशवद् व्यापी वर्तते इति एकं लक्षणं वर्तते अपरं लक्षणं किं शुक्रं शुभ्रं न ज्योतिष्मत् दीप्तिमान् न शुच् एष धातुः समान एव वर्तते शोके अपि न शुक्रे अपि शुच् टू बॉर्न टू साइन न ज्वलति न ज्योतिः रूपेण वर्तते न दीप्तिमत् वर्तते इत्येतस्मिन् अर्थे एवं कृत्वा ग्रीष्मस्य न ग्रीष्मे मासस्य नाम अपि तथा वर्तते न शुचिः शुचिः इति आषाढस्य नाम इति चिन्तयामि किमर्थं तत्र ज्वलति भास्करः न सर्वं दहति इव वर्तते एवं कृत्वा तत्र न एकः ग्रहः वर्तते शुक्रः स न रेड स्टार न स ज्वलति न सर्वदा ज्वलति ज्वलन् दृश्यते इति एवं कृत्वा शुक्रः इति उच्यते अत्र शुक्रम् इति विशेषणं वर्तते स ज्वलद् वर्तते न आत्मा यह परमार्थभूत आत्मा स सर्वथा सर्वदा शुक्रं शुभ्रं ज्योतिष्मद् वर्तते दीप्तिः वर्तते तत्र दीप्तिमान् स इति एवं कृत्वा दीप्तिमान् सर्वदा वर्धमानः वर्तते एवं च अकायमपि वर्तते न अकायः आत्मा परमार्थभूत आत्मा अकायः वर्तते अशरीरः वर्तते लिङ्गशरीरवर्जित इति तत्र न वेदान्तेषु शङ्करमते तत्र लिङ्गशरीरं न मूलतः शरीरं वर्तते न भौतिकं शरीरं न मनोमयं शरीरं प्राणमयं शरीरं वर्तते तद् अन्तः न लिङ्गशरीरं वर्तते तदपि तत्र नास्ति न परमार्थभूते आत्मनि तु लिङ्गशरीरम् अपि नास्ति यदि लिङ्गशरीरं वर्तते तर्हि पुनर्जन्म भवति न संसारे पुनः पुनः आगमनं भवति लिङ्गशरीरे किं किम् अस्ति न तत्र मनः अस्ति अहङ्कारः अस्ति बुद्धिः अस्ति पञ्चतन्मात्राः सन्ति न बीज रूपेण तत्र तैः निर्मितं शरीरं वर्तते लिङ्गशरीरं तेन अपि वर्जितः वर्तते सूक्ष्मशरीरेणापि वर्जितः वर्तते स आत्मा परमार्थभूतः आत्मा एवं च यदि शरीरम् एव नास्ति चेत् तत्र व्रणस्य सम्भावना नास्ति अव्रणम् अक्षतं न कदापि क्षीयते शरीरं क्षीयते परन्तु आत्मा परमार्थभूतः आत्मा न क्षीयते तत्र क्षतिः नास्ति इति न एष आत्मा कदापि क्षीणो न भवति इति एवं कृत्वा अव्रणम् इति उच्यते अस्नाविरं न तस्य व्याख्या वर्तते न निषेधः वर्तते स्नाविरत्वस्य स्नावः शिरः न शरीरे स्नावः सन्ति स्नायवः सन्ति शिरः सन्ति न स्नायुः, स्नावा, शिरा न पर्यायाः सन्ति। स्नावा शिरा यस्मिन् न विद्यन्ते न यस्मिन् इति आत्मनि परमार्थभूते आत्मनि स्नावः शिरः न विद्यन्ते इति एवं कृत्वा अश्नाविरम् इति उच्यते। अव्रणम् अश्नाविरम् इति एताभ्यां स्थूल शरीर प्रतिषेधः न शंकरः तत्र विशिनष्टि पूर्वम् अकायम् इति न कथमपि तत्र शरीरस्य संभावना नास्ति इति एवं कृत्वा लिंग शरीरस्य प्रतिषेधार्थम् अकायम् इति उच्यते। अव्रणम् अश्नाविरम् इति न एते पदे स्थूल शरीरस्य प्रतिषेधार्थम् उच्यते। परमार्थभूते आत्मनि स्थूलम् अपि शरीरं नास्ति, सूक्ष्मम् अपि शरीरं नास्ति इति एवं उच्यते। शुद्धं निर्मलम् अविद्यामलरहितं न स्थूल शरीरस्य सूक्ष्म शरीरस्यापि कृते प्रतिषेधे किम् अवशिष्यते? कारण शरीरम् अवशिष्यते। तत् किम्? अविद्या। अविद्या अविद्या च मलं वर्तते न एवं कृत्वा शुद्धम् इत्यनेन तत्र अविद्यारूपस्य मलस्यापि संभावना नास्ति इति उच्यते न अन्ये मलः तु नास्ति न सन्ति एव यद् मूलं मलं न वर्तते अविद्या तस्यापि तत्र संभावना नास्ति इति शुद्धम् इति उच्यते। निर्मलं शुद्धम् इति निर्मलं मलरहितं तत्र मलस्य तारतम्ये अपि न अन्ये न सन्ति एव अविद्या अपि नास्ति कारण न भूता अविद्या अपि नास्ति इति एवं कारण शरीर प्रतिषेध न स्थूल शरीर प्रतिषेध सूक्ष्म शरीर न सूक्ष्म शरीरम् एव लिंग शरीरम् उच्यते। लिंग शरीरस्य प्रतिषेध इदानीं कारण शरीरस्यापि प्रतिषेध एवं च कायत्रय निषेधः उच्यते। अपापविद्धं धर्माधर्मादि पापवर्जितं न एष आत्मा एतत् तत्त्वम् अपापविद्धं वर्तते। तत्र न केवलं पापरहितं पापवर्जितं परन्तु धर्म न धर्मेणापि वर्जितं वर्तते। न धर्माधर्मौ न पुण्यपापौ सापेक्षौ एवं कृत्वा पाप निषेधेन पुण्यस्यापि निषेधः। भवता कुत्रचित् श्रुतं स्यात् पुण्येन स्वर्गो भवति पापेन नरकः। यदि जनः धर्म पापरहितः भवति तदा एव तत्र न किमपि भोक्तव्यमेव नास्ति तदैव स मुक्तो भवति न एवं च अपापविद्धम् इति धर्मस्यापि निषेध अधर्मस्यापि निषेध धर्माधर्मादि पापरहितं अत्र शंकररीत्या धर्माधर्मादय न तत्र ते सर्वे तत्र पापपदेन तत्र उपलक्ष्यन्ते एवं कृत्वा धर्माधर्मादि पापवर्जितं वर्तते। भवतु किंचित अग्रे पठामि तत्पश्चात् न सारसंक्षेपं करोमि। शुक्रम इत्यादीनि वचांसि पुंलिंगत्वेन परिणेयानि न अत्र काठिन्यं वर्तते किंचित न यथा शंकर इदानीं न व्याख्याति तत्र किंचित काठिन्यं वर्तते। किमर्थं न यदि आत्मा उच्यते चेत् न तर्हि पुंलिंगे न भवेयुः विशेषणानि परन्तु अत्र स न कर्तृकारकतया न विजानाति शंकर एवं कृत्वा तत्र समस्या वर्तते। कथं न अपापविद्धम् अकायम् एवं कृत्वा नपुंसकलिंगे वर्तते। एतत् एवं न आशंक्य स समाधानं ददाति। शुक्रम इत्यादीनि वचांसि पदानि पुंलिंगत्वेन परिणेयानि पुंलिंगे अपापविद्धः अकाय एवं कृत्वा परिणेयानि तत्पश्चात् अन्वयः सम्भवति किमर्थं न सपर्यगात् इति तत्र वर्तते स न पुंलिंगे वर्तते एवं कृत्वा उपक्रमे अपि स इति पुंलिंगे वर्तते अपरार्धे मन्त्रस्य अपरार्धे कविः मनीषी परिभु स्वयंभू अग्रे आयाति तत्रापि न पुंलिंगे एव वर्तते न सर्वम् एवं कृत्वा यन्मध्ये वर्तते नपुंसकलिंगे शंकरस्य विचारेण वर्तते तत्सर्वं पुंलिंगे परिणेयं तत्पश्चात् व्याख्यातव्यम् इति सपर्यगात् इति उपक्रम्य कबीर मनीषी इत्यादिना पुंलिंगत्वेन उपसंहारात् यथा मया उक्तं सपर्यगात् इति उपक्रमे वर्तते कबीर मनीषी इत्यादि उपसंहारे वर्तते एतस्मात् कारणात् पुंलिंग न उभयत्र न पुंलिंगः वर्तते यद् मध्ये वर्तते नपुंसकलिंगः तस्य विपरिणामः न पुंलिंगपरिणामः कार्यः इति शंकरः व्याख्याति तत्र न किं गौरवं वर्तते इति अहं चिन्तयामि अन्यप्रकारेण व्याख्यातुं शक्यते इति मद्विचारः भवतु पूर्वं न संक्षेपेण वच्मि okay so these are according to Shankara lakshanas characterizations of that ultimate self ultimate reality and according to him saparyagat this is one sentence no? So and then this one sentence suggests one characterization and he says literally it means he went from all sides no? So he went into it from all sides or he entered the world from all sides or in every way so that way so he analyzes such Atma as described before and described further that went literally no? So that went from all sides that went in from all sides that entered no? So it went so that way so he says that from this statement we have to understand that that ultimate self that ultimate reality is all pervading no? All pervading like the sky like the space so this is one characterization another is shukram it is burning so the root shuts has this meaning of burning scorching so like as I said earlier in Sanskrit so the month in Grishma Ritu burning so is called Shuchihi Ashada is also called Shuchihi root is the same and also when you have agony you have pain tormentation we say so shoka no? So you are lamenting your exist you are burning so that way so the root is the same so shukram here but has a positive meaning positive characterization and he says shukra here means shubra no? So shining bright white jyotismat it's flaming it has luster so in that case so this is positive way of characterization of the ultimate self the same way akayam now he goes technical so according to his system so he says akayam denies subtle linga sarira the mark so linga is mark that body in the form of mark or the subtle body which is made of subtle residue of 5 tanmatras 5 elements and then the internal faculties manas mind intellect and eye awareness So in all these 8, Puriyashtaka, make a subtle body. And so akayam, so first without body, is denying even this subtle body. So according to this interpretation, then without wound, without damage, abranam. So brana is wound, and then Sankara is interpreting not damaged, not injured. So that way, if there is body, then there is possibility of damage, possibility of wounding. So that's why he says without veins, without wound, without damage. So this way, physical body is denied. So then there is another adjective, shuddha, pure. So ultimately, impurity is, so the seed of impurity, all kinds of impurity is avidya, nescience. So that's why, and in Vedanta system, nescience, so ignorance is regarded as the uh, this causal body, karana sarira. So that way, this pure, so this adjective denies karana sarira. So this way, all 3 forms of body, 3 types of body are denied. Then another adjective is apapa vidya. It is not penetrated vidya, no? So by papa. And here Shankara is interpreting papa is not just vice, but it also denies all kinds of things so that people regard that the transmigratory self incurs. So in fact, the ultimate self, the ultimate transcendental self, that is free from even merits and demerits. So yeah, so this way, according to him, the ultimate self is described. But he has a big trouble. So he sees that, so except sapariyagat is a sentence, all descriptions, all lakshanas, characterizations are in neuter, as he understands. And he says that we have to transform, not change, all these neuter endings into masculine ending when we construe the sentence. Because he says, in the beginning we have sa pariyagat, and the subject is sa. So it is in masculine. And then in the next line, there is Kavi Manishi Parivu Swayambhu, again characterization in masculine. So this what is in the middle, that also should be changed to Pulinga. But I doubt. At this point, as I said, I respect Shankara, so I respect the tradition, but we should be reading critically. So there is another possibility which he did not follow. Maybe deliberately, I am not sure, but that is possible, because he has to somehow embed his ideology, his philosophy, like these 3 types of bodies are denied, that way he is interpreting. So maybe if he goes otherwise, maybe that is not be easy. But another possibility is there. Okay, maybe I tell you that, and then interpret the second half of the mantra. Okay, before that, if you have any question, you can ask me up to this point on the Bhashya.
Sorry, I wanted to ask a question about the Pulingatvena.
Yeah.
But you said that he says that it has to be converted to the masculine. So I just wanted to know whether any other commentators have found a solution to this problem, and how they see it. Is it possible for them to say it not as a neuter, but as an accusative?
Yeah, no, that I said. Yeah, no, that way I think that it should be one sentence. So that I was going to tell you, so that I have not checked other commentaries at the moment. So I'm not sure if others have interpreted that way or not. But the natural way would be to interpret all these as accusative, and then he went. And again, so the tense also fits well. So he completely, pari can be in the sense of completion. So in that case, that person who has understood the ultimate reality of Atman, he reaches such such and such a state. He already has reached. Once he has understood this ultimate reality of self, he is still probably, even while he is living, he already has attained this state, apapavidya, and so on.
Or is it possible for all of those descriptors to be the object of kavi as well? As in, he is a seer of what?
No, that I disagree. I mean, because there is this metrical boundary, that is, but that is very weak point. But you have two verbs there. No? So in the first half, you have paryagat is there, and then you have vyadhat is there in the second half. So if you interpret independently, it's perfect. So one sentence is complete in the first half, another sentence is complete in the second half. Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay. So any other the comment on Shankarite Vedantic perspective?
The sentence itself seems, it states the lakshanas, but they can be point in time observations. There is nothing that indicates tachilium of these things, right?
Which one?
Like whether it be pariyaga or avranam, it can be a point in time observation, as opposed to avranam is its natural state all the time, abiding state. It doesn't indicate.
No, that is fine. So actually, these are as earlier also I said, these are positive way of presenting it and negative way also. So that way they are trying to somehow highlight one or the other aspect of the reality. But yeah, so certain things people associate positive way or negative way, they are denied, or yeah, negative things are negative adjectives are denying superimposed qualities or superimposed characterizations, and then positive way is highlighting the positive quality of the reality.
And in your interpretation, the latest one that you mentioned, where you can treat it as the subject sir, and then pariyagat, and then all the other ones as accusative.
Yeah.
The unmentioned verb is apnoti or asti.
No, not apnoti, but there is agat, which exactly has that meaning. No, okay. So agat, he went. That means, no, so actually you have also possibility. You know that in Sanskrit we normally say ye gatyartha te jnanartha. No, so yes. And in English also, like the word understood. So understand. So has this kind of, you are standing under the reality of under that knowledge. So so anyway, so it is a metaphorical going. So in that way you reach the you attain the so yeah, so he who has that way understood the ultimate state of Atman, so he is free from all transmigratory, these kind of abrana, brana, papa, so and so on. So that way it's burning all negativities, and then it's beyond embodied existence. It is beyond any kind of impurity. So he reaches. So earlier he is in the world. He is sabrana, he is snabira, he is asuddha, he is punya papa vidya. But once he realizes, he reaches. So he attains this state.
Thank you.
Yeah. So agat, and also, yeah, that was my point. So he reaches, he attains this state, and also he understands. So he will then be no more trapped in the world. He will transcend the world. So these worldly realities, he will go beyond.
Thank you.
Okay. So any question? No.
आचार्य यद् भवता उक्तं पूर्वार्धे तत्र तु भावप्रयोगाः अपेक्षिताः अपापविद्धत्वं प्राप्तवान् इत्येवं
न अपापविद्धत्वं न तत्र पूर्वं तु अहं वदामि न केवलं वेदे परन्तु तत्र पश्चादपि यथा दिङ्नागे अपि त्वरहितस्यापि भावार्थे प्रयोगः दृश्यते। एवं कृत्वा अपापविद्धम् इति अपापविद्धत्वम् इत्यस्मिन् अर्थे अपि ज्ञातुं शक्यते, परन्तु तस्यापि आवश्यकता नास्ति। सो अत्र भवान् कथयितुं शक्नोति स यः ध्यानी वर्तते, यः तथा ध्यायमानः वर्तते, स अपापविद्धं परमात्मानम् आत्मनः परमार्थभूतम् आत्मानं प्राप्नोति। इतः किं प्रत्यगात्मत्वात् स प्रत्यगात्मा, न पूर्वं स प्रत्यगात्मा आसीत्, स प्रत्यगात्मा देही पूर्वं तथा न चिन्तयमान, इदानीं तु यदा स तथा जानाति स उद्बुद्धो भवति, तदा तु स तस्यैव आत्मनः परमात्मत्वं न सो परमात्मभूतं परम स प्रत्यगात्मतः न प्रत्यगात्मनः परमात्मनि उद्बुद्धो भवति। तथा स्वं न तथापि स्वम् अपापविद्धं सपर्यगात्, स्वं स्वस्मिन्नेव न तथा स्वेनैव न स्वत एव स अपापविद्धं प्राप्नोति।
यदा एवं गृह्यते तदा द्वैतरीतिः स्वीकृता भवति न वा?
न भवति।
प्रत्यगात्मा
तत्र अवस्था भेद एव वर्तते न। सो तत्र प्रत्यगात्मत्वं परमात्मत्वं च न शाङ्करै अवस्थाभेदेन कालभेदेन दशाभेदेन स्वीक्रियते एव न। यदा ज्ञानं भवति, जन उद्बुद्धो भवति, तदा स स्वयमेव जीवन्मुक्त परमात्मा
भवतु। धन्योऽस्मि।
न तत्र अन्यदपि वर्तते, अन्यत् इदानीं वदामि उत पश्चात्, maybe I tell you briefly and we'll elaborate later. Actually, I think that this Ishabhasya Upanishad, this comes at the end of the Veda. Vedasya sarvante, na parishamaptau vartate. Tatra Upanishadah agre tatra mantraः सन्ति, तेषाम् उपयोगः न मृत्युकाले न। सो यदा जनः म्रियमाणः वर्तते, यदा जनः मृतः वर्तते, मृतस्य संस्कारे न सो मरणकाले यदा जनः म्रियमाणः वर्तते, तदा यत् कर्तव्यं भवति तेन सह सम्बन्धी वर्तते कथञ्चित् न। ये पूर्वे मंत्रा आसन् किं सप्तम मंत्र पर्यन्तं तस्य न तत्र मृत संस्कारे उत म्रियमाण जन संस्कारे तत्र साक्षात् उपयोगः नास्ति, न ज्ञाने एव उपयोगः वर्तते। परन्तु यद् अग्रे वर्तते तत् म्रियमाणस्य जनस्य विषये भवितुं शक्नोति। एवं कृत्वा पर्यगात् इति यः ज्ञानी वर्तते, येन आत्मनः एकत्वं जातं वर्तते, स जनः यदा अत्र म्रियते स न अत्र मृतः पर्यगात् न। स तत्र जन ये सम्बन्धिनः ये बान्धवाः सन्ति ते एवं चिन्तयन्ति न। सो सपर्यगात् इत्येतत् न किं विवरणम् अपि भवितुं शक्नोति। Okay, so somehow this Upanishad has some role in the ritual in a way. Maybe it is not strictly ritual, but in the context of a dying person or persons. No? So dying person and then he dies and then the relatives have to do some ritual, but not physical ritual, let's say. But this Ishavasya Upanishad is how they take, so how they understand death, so how they conclude. So somehow it is related to that context. At least I am not sure about the 7 mantras, but it is put as one Upanishad. So 7 mantras, earlier 7 mantras give the background, how one should live, how one should not die, and then and one should cultivate this Paramatma Bhava and so on. So these are there. So this is these also can fit in this context of death. And here too, this earth mantra you can interpret as Shankara interpreted, as I earlier interpreted, or you can also interpret that in actual context of a dying person. And then so people once probably he is being cremated, so in that process the priest or the relatives, they recite or they declare that he has attained, he has reached that ultimate state, that ultimate source, and so on. Okay. That is because this one is, maybe you can challenge me and can interpret other ways, but later I hope Shankara also maybe acknowledges that the last mantras towards the end, they are related to Pushan Nekar say that mantra 16 onward, 16, 17 and 18, they are related to and 18 is clearly, so now they are requesting the fire to lead the dead towards the destiny, the ultimate destiny. So I have not checked the Bhashya, so I'm not quite sure, but yeah, I just saw Marishyataha is there. So he also acknowledges that. So I doubt, I mean positively, I think that even this verse is already somehow telling us about the enlightened person, so who has understood Atman when he was alive, and now he reaches this ultimate state, ultimate nature. All right. Okay. Then agre gachamah. Kabir manishi paribhu swayambhur yatha tathyatorthan vedadat chaswati samabhya. Okay, earlier I told you that so when I was reciting, from metrical point of view, if you put Shashwatibhya aside, then meter is perfect. So Kavir Manishi Paribhu Swayambhur Yatha Tatyatorthan Vedadat Samabhya would be all right. So one possibility is the Shashwatibhya crept in. So probably it was in the margin, or they were explaining these Samabhya as qualified, Sashvatibhya qualifying Samabhya. And another possibility is sometimes to give extra effect, the poet themselves sometimes do odd things. So, so the fact is we have Sashvatibhya extra word and we have to interpret it. One way is it is letter crept in, or you can say that to give extra effect, sometimes poets can drop a syllable, or add a syllable or a word. Actually, this reminds me of, some of you probably know, Ghazal. What's his name? Khamoshi. So the I just forgot what the Hindi ghazal. So when there is silence, the singer somehow he just becomes silent for a while to give this kind of extra effect. So if you read the text, so if you are not listening to the song, maybe you find something missing. So there is this extra act, so to give extra effect. The same way, sometimes poet drop a syllable, or sometimes there is extra word or syllable added. So you can interpret that way. Bhavatu. Bhashye gacchama. Kavihi krantadarshi sarvadrik. शंकर रीत्या एतदपि लक्षणं वर्तते तत्र यः परमार्थभूतः परमात्मा परमार्थभूतः आत्मा वर्तते स कविः इति उच्यते कथं कवेः तात्पर्यं किं कः कविः भवितुं शक्नोति यः क्रान्तदर्शी वर्तते न कालं न क्रमित्वा देशं क्रमित्वा न zeitgeist क्रमित्वा द्रष्टुं शक्नोति यद् अन्यैः न दृश्यते न दृष्टं तत् पश्यति स कविः भवति एवं च अनेन परमात्मा पोएट नास्ति कवि परन्तु स क्रान्तदर्शी वर्तते सर्वं पश्यति सर्वथा सर्वदा सर्वं पश्यति एवं सर्वदृक् वर्तते न तस्य न समन्वयाय आचार्यः बृहदारण्यकात् न उद्धरति नान्यः अतः अस्ति द्रष्टा इति उच्यते बृहदारण्यकेषु अतः अस्मात् परमात्मना अन्य कोऽपि द्रष्टा नास्ति वस्तुतः स एव सर्वस्य द्रष्टा वर्तते न दिवाकर रूपेण श्री रूपेण शुभा रूपेण अपि न स एव पश्यति न एवं च स एव कवि स एव द्रष्टा इति एतस्मिन् अर्थे कवि इति उच्यते मनीषी मनसः ईशिता न स सर्वज्ञः वर्तते स ईश्वरः वर्तते स न सर्वेषां मनसि तिष्ठन् सर्वं जानाति सर्वेषां मनसः ईशिता वर्तते न नियन्त्रयिता वर्तते सर्वं कारयिता वर्तते एवं कृत्वा तस्य सर्वज्ञत्वम् अत्र ख्याप्यते सर्वज्ञः ईश्वरः अपि स एव परमार्थभूतः आत्मा वर्तते ब्रह्मभूत आत्मा वर्तते इति उच्यते अनेन लक्षणेन एवं अग्रे परिभुः सर्वेषां परि उपरि भवति इति परिभुः एवं व्याख्यायते शंकरेण सर्वेषां यत् किमपि वर्तते अस्तित्वे तेषां सर्वेषां उपरि वर्तते परि अत्र उपरि इत्यस्मिन् अर्थे वर्तते इति व्याख्या शंकरस्य परि उपरि वर्तते उपरि भवति सर्वदा भवति उपरि एव भवति इति परिभुः इति उच्यते स्वयंभुः स्वयमेव भवति इति स्वयंभुः न तत्र न विभागः स्वयं भवति इति स्वयंभुः येषाम् उपरि भवति यश्च उपरि भवति स सर्वः स्वयमेव भवति इति स्वयंभुः न स सर्वस्य ईशः वर्तते ईशिता वर्तते सर्वान् अतिशेते सर्वेषाम् उपरि भवति परन्तु यः उपरि भवति यः अतिशेते न यः अतिशय्यते न यः अधः भवति उभयथा एव स एव भवति स्वयमेव भवति तत्र अन्यस्य अवकाशः नास्ति अन्य कोऽपि नास्ति इति एवं कृत्वा स परिभुः अपि वर्तते स्वयंभुः अपि वर्तते इति स नित्यमुक्तः ईश्वरः न नित्यमुक्तः स कदापि बद्धः नास्ति न स्वीये स्वरूपे आत्मा न कदापि बद्धः वर्तते सर्वथा नित्यमुक्तः वर्तते इति एवं न विशिष्यते स याथा तथ्यतः सर्वज्ञत्वात् यथा तथा भावो याथा तथ्यम न व्याख्या वर्तते, विग्रह वर्तते, व्युत्पत्तिः वर्तते। याथा तथ्यम इति पदम, तस्य व्युत्पत्ति यथा तथा भावः याथा तथ्यम। तत्र कथं याथा तथ्यम न याथा तथ्यम स जानाति स जानीयात् यत स सर्वज्ञः न न पूर्वेण लक्षणेन न परः लक्षणः युज्यते। स ईशः वर्तते, ईश्वरः वर्तते, एतस्मात् कारणात् स परिभू वर्तते, स स्वयंभू वर्तते। एवं च ईश्वरः सर्वकारी, सर्वकर्ता, क्रांतदर्शी, सर्वज्ञः वर्तते। एवं गुणविशिष्टः स नित्यमुक्तः वर्तते। एवं गुणविशिष्टः स सर्वम् अस्मिन् संसारे विहितवान् अस्ति। स सर्वं व्यदधात्, स सर्वं विहितवान्। यत् यत् कर्तव्यं भवति न तत् सर्वं याथा तथ्येन ज्ञात्वा, यद् यद् यथा यथा न भवितुम् अर्हति तत्तत् सर्वं तेषां भावं ज्ञात्वा, यतः स सर्वज्ञ भवत् अस्ति, स जानाति, एवं ज्ञात्वा स सर्वान् विदधाति, सर्वान् अत्र संसारे अस्तित्वे स्थापयति, विभजति, न यथानुरूपं विभजति। एतद् उच्यते सर्वज्ञत्वात् यथा तथा भावो यथा तथ्यं, न मध्ये तत्र न स्थापनीयं। यथा तथा भावो यथा तथ्यं सर्वज्ञत्वात्, तस्मात् सर्वज्ञत्वात् यथाभूत कर्म फल साधनतः न जनानां यद्यद् कर्म वर्तते, यद्यद् तेषां फलं न वर्तते, फलेन भवितव्यं तत्सर्वं स साधयति। न स ईश्वरः सर्वकर्ता सर्वज्ञः यथाभूतं यथा भवितव्यं न यथा भवद् सर्वं कर्मफलं साधयति। जनानां नृणां सर्वं कर्मफलं यथावद् न न्यायतः स साधयति। अर्थान् न साधनता अर्थान् न वस्तूनि कर्तव्य पदार्थान् तान् सर्वान् स व्यदधात्, अस्मिन् संसारे स विहितवान्, विदधाति च। यथानुरूपं स व्यभजत्, विभजति च, विभजि न एवं च अग्रे वदति मंत्रः शाश्वतीभ्यः समाभ्यः इति वर्तते। समा इति अत्र समः इति संवत्सरः न, सो वर्षाणि सामान्येन अर्थस्तु न शाश्वतीभ्यः नित्याभ्यः संवत्सरेभ्यः स व्यदधात्, न पूर्वस्मात् कालात् अनादिकालात् स व्यदधात् इति व्याख्यातुं शक्यते। परन्तु शंकर किंचित न विशिष्टेन प्रकारेण व्याख्याति। स कथयति अत्र संवत्सर इति प्रजापतेः उपलक्षणं, न समा इति संवत्सर, संवत्सरः प्रजापतयः इति ब्राह्मणे वर्तते। ततः न अर्थम् आनीय प्रजापतिभ्यः व्यभजत्, न तत्र 16 प्रजापतयः सन्ति, न बहवः अपि भवेयुः। ये प्रजापतयः न स सृष्टवान्, तान् स तेषां कृते स सर्वान् अर्थान् यद्यद् न संसरणाय आवश्यकं भवति तत्तत् न तान् सर्वान् पदार्थान् स व्यभजत्, तेषां न विभागेन न दत्तवान्। एवं शंकर व्याख्याति। यथा मया उक्तं परन्तु न काले अपि योजयितुं शक्यते न पूर्वस्मात् कालात् अनादिकालात् न अनादिकाल पर्यन्तं न यावत् न जनः न जानाति जनः न व्युत्थितो भवति तत्त्वे तावत् कालं तस्य कृते प्रजापति व्यददात् प्रजापति विहितवान् भवतु सारं वच्मि. Okay, so Shankara is interpreting again as he was doing. So every adjective as one characterization of this ultimate reality of self. So here, Kavihi, the word is Kavihi. Kavihi is maybe literally we can say more like intelligent. No? So intelligent, that is the more literal meaning. Those spontaneously capable of seeing something what is not seen by others. No? So Krantadarshi. So Kavaya Krantadarshina. So poets or the intelligent people, they can see what is beyond time, beyond space, or beyond others' mind. So that is the literal meaning. But Shankara says it is in the sense of Sarvadrik. He can see everything in that sense. And he gives justification from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad at one point says, there is no other seer except him. So on this ground, he says Kavi here means seer that way, seeing beyond, transcendental seer. So from that point of view, he is the seer in every, so every being, in every time, every situation, he is the seer. Then Manishi, another adjective. So he is the controller of mind. So he is ruler of mind. So that way, mind here represents not just, you know that in Indian system, mind is one. So it's not just individual mind. So he rules the principle of mind, the principle of thinking, principle of knowing. So that way, so he is all knower. He is omniscient God. And then Paribhuhu, so he interprets Paribhuhu is in a special sense, and he says he is on top of everything. So that is, he is the dominator. No? So yeah, you can say Paribhava is defeat, but that is in negative context. So here Paribhu is, he is the overpowerer. No? So he overpowers everyone. He outstands everyone. So in that way, he transcends everything, everyone. So that's why he is called Paribhu. And Swayambhu, he is self-originated. So that would be most common meaning, but that way he analyzes. But then he further says that here Paribhu and Swayambhu, they make a pair. So he is the dominated as well as the dominator. No? So in whichever situation, whichever context, anything happens, it is him. It is it, maybe. So that way described as Paribhu Swayambhu, and that way he is the ruler, he is the overlord of everything, and he is omniscient, he is omnipotent, he is Nitya Mukta, he is eternally liberated. So in other contexts, we say that Jiva, when there is a little bit of dualistic system, so or plural or dualistic system, the jivas, they are the individual selves. No? So they are bound souls, and then they are liberated. And even when they are liberated, they become part of the body of the otherworldly or ultimate body of the God, but they are still separate. So that way, other living beings, souls, they are bound and liberated. But the Ishvara, the ultimate self, Shiva, Narayana, whichever way they imagine the Dvaitins, so that is always liberated, eternally liberated. But in Shankara's system, every self, the self in itself, in its own nature, it is always liberated, even now, even in our form, no? So individual form. As the self, it is liberated in that sense. Then, so such ultimate self, ultimate reality, he made Vyadadat, he put things there in order, whatever to be done in the world for the sake of maintaining the world or to run the world according to right order. Yatha tathyatah. So, and he is analyzing the thing as it is. So, yatha tathya is the truth as it should be, as it is. So that is the meaning of yatha tathya. According to that, so according to the actual reality, actual nature of things, so he put things in order. He placed things in order. So, and there Shankara associates this idea of Ishvara as the witness or the supervisory role of Ishvara. So, like there are individual beings that way differentiated, appeared as embodied self, and they do different deeds, tasks, and they should be retributed. So according to their deeds. So Ishvara knows, the ultimate God or ultimate reality knows things as it is, like who does what should be there as its reward. So everything he facilitates. He knows everything and he facilitates everything. So, so this is the way he is interpreting. So, and then he says, Yatha nurupam vyavajat. Appropriately he distributed, he retributed. And to whom? So then he says he distributed, first of all, maybe you can extend it to, as earlier I did, to every individual being according to their deeds. But Shashvatibhya Samabhya, that part, Shankara is interpreting that he for the first time, or as his deputies, the ultimate God, so the ultimate reality first appears as the ultimate God, and then that ultimate God creates the world, and then in that process he creates Prajapatis, so the lords of creatures, and then and they control the time, they control the cycles of time and monsoon and so on. So to those lords of creatures, he distributed this, for them he placed this orderly world in order, and then they bring it forward. So this is the interpretation here. Okay, so maybe I stop there, or briefly let me tell another possibility as I was doing that. So in that connection, we can say that in the context of a dead person, so departing person, we can say that he goes to this ultimate state, who has understood, who has realized his true nature, because so there is some ellipsis. So there is this intelligent ultimate reality, or ultimate reality in the form of intelligent God. He has that way distributed everything from the time immemorial, from the unlimited beginningless time. So that's why whoever knows the ultimate reality of the self, he attains this ultimate state, and others who have not, they get their retribution, their reward. So there is this facilitator God, and he's doing this from beginningless time. That's fine. No? Or in Vedantic context, you can continue as Shankara is interpreting. Okay, I stopped there. So if you have any questions, comments, you are welcome.
I didn't fully understand the difference between yata tatyataha and arthan vyadadat.
Oh yeah, yatha tathyatah. So here, what he placed in order, or what he puts there in front of you as the world, that is vyadadat. No? And then we need vyadad for dha to place there, to put there. No? So for that you need object, and then the object of vyadadat he made, he created. For that we need the object and so arthan, no? So the things in the world, or no? So like phenomenal or beyond phenomena. So either as reward or as a part of the creation of the world, he placed everything in order. And then yatha tathyatah is adverbial. No? So yatha tathyatah vyadadat. He did, he placed them there in order accordingly, according to their nature, let's say, their true nature.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Any comment? Acharya Kalpaha? Srihi?
अत्र भाष्ये लिङ्गस्थूलशरीरयोः भेदः स्वीकृतः शङ्कराचार्येण एष तु साङ्ख्यशास्त्रात् इति तर्कयामि उपनिषत्सु एष दृश्यते न वा
न दृश्यते परन्तु न उपनिषत् इति भवतः किं चिन्त्यते न सो
प्रायः बृहदारण्यकोपनिषत् छान्दोग्य च
छान्दोग्ये अपि न नास्ति इति चिन्तयामि न तत्र किं तथा न विशिष्टरूपेण तु नास्ति परन्तु वेदे अपि ऋग्वेदे अपि ये न इह मृतः अस्मात् भौतिकात् शरीरात् प्रेत्य तत्र न किं सूक्ष्मेण शरीरेण स्वर्गं गच्छति इति तथा उद्भाव्यते ऋग्वेदे अपि परन्तु यथा अत्र उच्यते लिङ्गशरीरं न स्थूलशरीरं कारणशरीरम् एवं रूपेण न उच्यते यदा जनं म्रियते भौतिकं शरीरम् अग्निना दह्यते न तत्पश्चात् दाहानन्तरं तस्य किं अदृश्यम् अभौतिकं शरीरं निर्मीयते तेन शरीरेण न स स्वर्गम् एति इति चिन्तनं तु वर्तते परन्तु यथा शङ्करेण चिन्त्यते यथा शङ्करेण उपस्थाप्यते तथा तस्मिन् अर्थे तु न स्यात् प्राचीनतमे उपनिषदे
अपि च अन्यत् किञ्चित् हास्यं परमार्थतः न गृह्यतां गुरुसन्तति वचने उक्तं भवता प्रथमः गुरुः नारायणः इति एषा किं वदन्ति कथम् उत्पन्ना न रोचते मह्यम्
तत्तु न तत्र काञ्चीं शृङ्गेरीं वा गत्वा प्रष्टव्यम्
प्रायेण ते शिवभक्ताः तस्मात्
तत्र न आदिशङ्करस्तु स तेन पाञ्चायतनं प्रवृत्तं न स न व्यवहारे समुच्चयकारी आसीत् इति जनाः कथयन्ति स एव कृतवान् उत न विजयनगरे पश्चात् पञ्चदशीकारः किं तस्य नाम किं अस्ति विद्यारण्यः कृतवान् विद्यारण्यः शङ्कराचार्यः कृतवान् तत्तु अहं न जाने परन्तु व्यवहारे ते न पाञ्चायतनं प्रवर्त्य समुच्चयं कृतवन्तः न शङ्कराचार्याः सिद्धान्ते दर्शने न तेभ्यः समुच्चयो न रोचते न सो ज्ञानमेव कर्तव्यं संन्यासः एव कर्तव्यः इति ते कथयन्ति परन्तु व्यवहारे जनानां कृते लोकसङ्ग्रहाय सर्वान् नारायणं शङ्करं सूर्यं गणेशं देवीं च एकत्र आनीय ते पूजितवन्तः ते पूजयितुं जनान् तत्र एकत्वम् उद्भावयितुं प्रयतितवन्तः तत्र गुरुसन्तति उच्चारणे अपि तत्र उभयथा तत्र शङ्कर शङ्कर साक्षात् व्यासो नारायणो हरि एवं कृत्वा तत्र तदा तस्मिन् काले विद्यारण्यस्य काले उत आदिशङ्करस्य काले तत्र पूर्वमपि तत्र अहं स्मरामि तत्र पञ्चमे षष्ठे अपि शतके नेपाले एकः शिलालेखः अपि वर्तते तत्र जनाः शङ्करमतानुयायिन नारायणमतानुयायिनश्च कदाचित् युध्यन्ति स्म न तत्र भेदभावेन ते न परस्परं न द्विषन्तः हानिं कुर्वन्ति स्म एवं कृत्वा तत्र षष्ठे एव शतके तत्र न हरिहर स्वरूप न अर्धेन हरि अर्धेन हरः एतादृशी अर्चा अपि न जनैः निर्मिता आसीत् अस्मिन्नेव क्रमे शङ्करेणापि बहुविधेन प्रकारेण शैवानां वैष्णवानां च तत्र न स्वारस्यं सामञ्जस्यं कारयितुं प्रयतितम् इति अहं चिन्तयामि.
Sorry, I found this point about that particular inscription that you just mentioned extremely interesting. Could you elucidate a bit more on this, about this particular kind of war between these two factions, between the the followers of Shankara and the followers of of Vishnu, and a little bit more background on this inscription? I'm sorry if it takes the conversation away in a different direction, but
no,
this just was such an interesting historical fact you mentioned.
Yeah, no, but actually I remember the first verse probably. Let me try to, and also they sometimes made it light and then interesting by involving the ladies also.
Really? In what way?
No, ladies, not you, but yeah, I remember like Patyor Naupasya Hestrir Yugalama Mithunam Shulabhrit Sangapandyor एकैके नात्र किं तत् सुकरमिह न तत् यद तौ यदेकत्र पृक्तौ. So maybe the second half I'm not confident. So the first half is saying that the two ladies, Lakshmi and Parvati, so they were merging into one body. No? Like this I said, they make it light. So entertaining also to these fighting people. So so these two ladies are wondering and saying that why they are making this unnatural couple. No? So why they are merging into one body. What was not possible for our husbands to, individually to achieve in this world.
So is this in that same inscription?
Yeah, this is Saka 489 or something. I can pass that to you later.
I mean, it's just interesting because in the context of what she was asking, and what you just responded, that there were these fights between different religious traditions.
No, that actually wait. In the same inscription, the 6th century inscription further down, Devata Bhakti Bhave. So there is further down. There are 3 or 4 verses, and then one verse actually says that Shankara and Narayana created a new composite body out of their halves to remove this Bheda Bhava that is prevalent among some people. So for that sake they have. So the answer is there. So first there is this light presentation which is somehow making fun of Harihara
Yes.
from the side of the ladies. And then let me try. I'm trying to find my file. If I find the file,
So to go back to what Shri had initially asked, I mean, would the followers of, I mean, would the Advaitins, I mean, if they in Vyavahara, in practice, would worship all deities, but within their philosophical beliefs, they believe in a
no, here from philosophical point of view, from philosophical let's say Shankara's point of view, every deity, every god, or actually every being is just appearance of Brahman itself. So Sarvam Brahmamayam. So Narayana, Shiva, every deity, Devi, every deity is internally, it is Brahman. So there is no problem at all.
Then why begin this lineage, this santati, with Narayana and not with Brahman?
Yeah, that is yeah, that's why that is doubtful. So this is more religion oriented, let's say. No? So they had to create for practical reality, I would say, for the sake of Vyavahara. So in this recitation, actually we are paying our devotion to these teachers. So still we are in the duality, we are in this Pujya Pujaka Bhava. So that way it's okay. Later, actually, even every kind of devotion or every kind of worship that concludes in like Onkara Upasana, you go deeper, and then every worship is your cultivation of Om. Om as in the verbal form, presentation of Brahman, or Aham Grahopasana, so like Aham Brahmasmi. So that would be exalted, deeper meaning of devotion and worship. So that is there. But this what I recited is maybe yeah, that actually I heard as a kid also, like for the young boys who still are playing with images and they are fascinated by these lineages, orders, deities, vigrahas, and so on. Okay, let me, I found the inscription, and then भिन्ने पुंसां जगति च तदा तथा देवता भक्ति भावे पक्षग्राह भ्रमित मनसां पक्ष विच्छित्ति हेतुः इत्यर्धाभ्यां समुपरचितं यन्मुरारीश्वराभ्याम् एकं रूपं सरदिज घन श्याम गौरम तदभ्यात्. Yeah. So this is the answer. Yeah, there are actually a number of. It looks like there was another maybe image of Harihara, maybe in a panel, and Hari and Hara, they are sitting very close, and then in the middle there are maybe tiny Shailaja and Girija, and I remember another verse again from another 11th century Bengal inscription of Umapati Dhara, Lakshmana Sena or Ballala Sena, and the verse says that they were afraid of losing embrace, no? So like love of their husband. So if they are merged, then they have trouble. So partially he is Parapurusha. So that's why they did not allow them to merge into one body. So they intervened in the middle, and then they could not merge into one body. So that is another verse.
Very interesting. It's just that the entire bhakti bhava, worship of images, puja, seems very much, well, not contradictory, but not part of the, it's not necessary according to the Vedanta system, that meditation or gnostic contemplation would be at the heart of Vedanta
Yeah.
theology.
Yeah. No,
So
but
that would mean that puja is simply bahya. It's
yeah,
external,
definitely,
it's
definitely.
unnecessary.
No
It's
doubt.
not
No doubt.
knowledge oriented.
No doubt. That is samsara. Actually, sometimes Shankara has a radical statement. Actually, in Adhyasa Bhashya, he says that even the Shastra, the Shastra actually including the Vedas, which he can't say as follower of tradition, strictly speaking, and in clear words, he can't deny the Vedas. But he says that shastrani, all the shastras, everything that or every action, everything positive, negative, and the shastras, all they are based on avidya. So, and then he justifies and says that pramana prameya vyavahara, like this interaction, understanding, teaching, everything needs deviation from this non-dualistic ultimate state. So, from the viewpoint of ultimate reality, Advaitic, non-dualistic reality, everything is non-existing. Everything is illusion. Everything is transitional, let's say. So for them, Ishvara is also, from that point of view, there is no difference between you and the Ishvara, which is
in itself
really,
is radical, isn't
yeah,
it?
very
That
radical.
entire view is radical.
That's why the Dvaitins, they say that, sorry to say, I dislike this kind of tussle, but like Madhva, he goes to the extreme and he says that Shankara is incarnation of demon. So for them it is impossible. This is just agnostic and atheistic. So
And
but
non-hierarchical, because it breaks the hierarchy between a higher entity and the devotee.
yeah. So for those who are really investing in devotion and devotional tradition, it is really blasphemy for them. So that is the keep that aside. But from philosophical point of view, I think Shankara's viewpoint is perfect, I would say.
Yeah, and there is something deeply moving and beautiful about it as well. I mean, although you just said that it breaks hierarchies, maybe even is atheistic, but at the same time, there's something deeply spiritual and
Deeply,
exalting. It is exalting. It does raise to a higher level some kind of single entity.
Yeah, wait, there you use the term atheism, no? So atheist, but I would say, yeah, I am not afraid of atheistic point of view. Maybe there is difference between atheism and agnostic tendency. Uh, Maybe I am not agnostic, but I can be atheistic, no problem. But there is like, and also you said spiritual atheism. No? So if you present it as spiritual atheism, there can be anarchy. No? So like spiritual atheism is wonderful thing. So that in a way you can say Advaita is, but you deny all the gods for the sake of understanding. But if you give this to common people, believers, then there will be anarchy. No?
True, because your entire structure, everything on which society stands is then rejected.
No, but not only that. I mean, it is easy to talk about spiritual atheism, but try to practice that. You will be in agony. I mean, you need sometimes, even if you can probably go beyond spiritual atheism, understand it, and then still again start to adopt all the deities, all they are there after understanding spiritual atheism. If you can reach that state, then you have something to so you can resort to them. But if you subscribe to spiritual atheism as a spiritual atheism, then at a moment of crisis there will be nobody else, so in that case yeah, the life will be difficult, I would say.
And it is also very abstract. I mean, there is
Yeah,
no
because it is
feeling.
abstract,
There is
yeah.
no feeling in it. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel that this entire philosophy is deeply detached from
Yeah.
deep emotion.
Yeah.
I mean, from the way it's elaborated. Whereas bhakti and devotion is rooted in almost like a deep, powerful love. I
It
mean,
is poetic, let's say.
it is poetic. It is
Yeah.
poetic. It
Yeah.
is transcendental. You
Yeah.
know, you
Yeah.
in a way that you're also losing your own self in this emotion.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this, what did you say? Rational atheism? No, spiritual atheism.
Spiritual, yeah.
Spiritual atheism is a very abstract and non-emotional, non-involved kind of state, which is, I think,
So
a bit
let's
cold, if I
yeah,
might say.
now let's avoid probably
Okay.
atheism, but it's somehow abstraction of God or abstraction of all principles. So
Mhm.
yeah, but it is clear that from the viewpoint of the ultimate reality or ultimate understanding, uh, nothing is there. I mean, there is no
Mhm.
Shastra, there is no teacher, there is no Gurudam, there is no God.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
all
that
are, so
is.
they are superior, there is hierarchy. So it is within the hierarchy, within the world.
Mm.
But normally these days what happens, the gurus, they are part of the world, but being in the world still they somehow pretend that they are beyond the world, and then yeah.
Thank you.
On that, Shankaracharya clarifies, right? Paramartha Tattvam is only for Tattva Bhumi,
Yeah.
only understanding.
Yeah.
Vyavahare tu Bhattanayaha.
Yeah, Vyavahare Bhattanaya. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Now, and also the in that context, so antas sakta bahishaiva shava madde cha vaishnava. So that is from some Saiva text. So internally you dissolve this duality. So antas sakta, what happens? So Shaktism is the process of dissolving dualism into non-duality. And
I think that's where the Satta Trividham is very important.
yeah, yeah. And then from Vyavahare, you should be Shaiva. And then yeah, you should be not too much discriminating, but Sabha Madhe to Vaishnava. So when you are in society, you have to follow every rules of society.
Isn't this the description of Kashmiri Brahmins, where they were secretly Shakta, but they
Yeah.
pretended to be Shaiva, and then in the
Yeah,
court they, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, this is actually not only Kashmir, but all the Smartha texts have this kind of connotation. Maybe it started in historical reality in Kashmir or in similar state, but maybe Kashmir was not much changed even even after travels, but in other places probably they changed more towards one way of Hindu life. But
Is this verse that you just quoted, Antashakta? How old is this attestation?
not so old, but yeah, I have to check. But this kind of connotation, not Sakta, Saiva, Vaishnava, but it can go around like 11th, 12th century. Not exactly that, but very similar statements you can find. Or this kind of hierarchy created, no? Like they have even other tantric traditions, Bhama, Dakshina, Mata, they all put in one order and saying that one is deeper than the other. So this kind of statements you start finding in 10, 11th century, and this kind of deeper sense of cultivation, deeper sense of worship you find also in Vijnana Bhairava, but combining these different traditions, that might be a little late, something like maybe 13th, 14th century.
Interesting. Mhm.
Yeah.
the one guiding principle I had learned as to how that one single principle should manifest in different realms of life is Tattva Bhumau Ekata,
Yeah.
Chitta Bhumau Samata,
Yeah.
Vyavahara Bhumau Asangata.
Yeah. That's perfect. Yeah. Again, this is enough. So the same idea they are presenting in different ways. Like the Antasaiva by Shakta Diya. So Shaktas represent one sort of idea, that way it is presented, and here you are talking in terms of bhumis. Yeah.